Yes, I just snipped that without turning off the electricity. Ooh, I'm a rebel. Bzzzt. Alright, so I'm happy to know that my reverse lights are working. But now that I'm not going to be driving this thing for a while, I figure, one, I can push it into the hole, and two, rather more significantly, I can start doing the things that affect its drivability, like I take out the sunroof here, which looks like it's a bunch of 10mm bolts, and I'm going to pull off the sunroof drain tubes, and I did not know how good a hose puller was until I bought one when I was working on the Miata and changing out the fuel filter and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Why did I struggle before? And the answer is because I didn't know. So, alright, so apparently for this task, hose pullers are slightly overrated. Oh, this stuff is tough. Not tough enough. I just have to... Oh, are you fucking kidding me? The moment I decide to cut it, it starts coming off the nozzle there. These are a little bit shorter than I expected. Where's my garbage bag? Where's my garbage bag? Oh, it's up front where I've been making garbage. I tell you, they let anybody be doctors nowadays. Meanwhile, somewhere there's some retired 80-year-old guy. Yeah, they even let women be doctors too. Wow. Never mind that they've made up like 50% of med school classes for more than a decade. Actually, 20 years, something like that. What are the chances I'm going to drop this on my head? That'll be damn funny. Maybe I should be a little careful. There's dust coming down. This calls for eye protection, man. Okay. Hey, it looks like I might not drop this on my head after. Maybe I should not speak. I've done it. Alright, so that means there's something else holding this up. And I'm going to discover it very suddenly and unexpectedly. Probably these little white plastic tabs, if I had to make a guess. Oh, nope. There. Come on. Son of a bitch, really? There's the white plastic tabs. Whoa! Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright. Good. I didn't even hurt myself. Did I injure the camera? Ah! The flowers are still standing. Oh! What's this? Oh, okay. I'd trap myself in here for a moment. Oh, hey, dipshit, take away the steering wheel. You'll give yourself so much more room for activities. Alright, so one of the most amazing things about modern technology is the video production equipment has improved tremendously. This little DJI thing is, you know, a couple $100 providing 1080p. I think it'll do 4K if I wanted it to. And it's, you know, this big. And because it has an auto leveling head, I can put it at whatever fucking angle I want. Like, this tripod is, which would have never worked with traditional video cameras, you know, back when I was getting my TV production degree back in something like that. We in reverse? We are in reverse. Let's go. No? Yes. Hey, let's actually try. Where did I put the tool with the battery in it? Oh, there it is. Yes, battery-powered tools work better with a battery in them. If you learn nothing else from this series, learn that. All right, so in theory, should be able to maybe keep all these bolts together, and the trim case in case somebody wants that garbage. And okay. Well, that isn't a pain in the ass. I can just cut that, right? There we go. Alright, fuck it. Now I've got a loose seat. But where did my good dikes go? I was just using them. Boy. Fuck. And yes, I know that with the electric motor, this seat is going to be heavier, so my calculation of 45 pounds times 2 is not strictly speaking accurate, but it's close enough for government work, and there's very limited room in the garage, so I'm not redoing that. This one should go more smoothly because I already cut everything. Yay! Oh, I shouldn't count my chickens. Nope, shit. Don't fall. Oh, motherfucker, really? I'm sure Ford's engineers were thinking about assembly rather than disassembly when they were doing this, but it turns out that basically all of the seats and seat belts and everything use the exact same size torque bit. It's really convenient. Oh, that's pleasant. Maybe get some of this junk out of here. Oh, the pop tabs. Great. Yes, I did just weigh that out of order, but that's okay. It's not going to matter. And while I'm at it, I probably need to find the piece of paper that I wrote on, because for 2023, they changed the rules so that my goal is actually not a 2,200 pound goal, but rather in kilograms. And somewhere in here. Here we go. For 2023, they have changed the weight for the limited two-wheel drive naturally aspirated vehicles to 995 kilograms, which is 2,193.6 pounds. I'm probably not going to achieve anywhere near that, but let's make it official. 2,193.6 if you want to be exact. Of course, now I'm going to muck about with fixing these, because my obviously one of these was simply crumbled when I took it out. The other one started working once I replaced the fuse, and then now that I've taken it out again, it broke into several pieces exactly as the previous one did. But fortunately, there are enough Focuses sold that I can still get replacement parts to some degree. And just so I never have to mess with it again, I ended up getting LED versions. Look, just complete thing, lens, lights, everything, little leads, completely intact, and with polarity wires, red and black, so that I don't have to turn them around, because certain LEDs are polarity sensitive, apparently. I guess the red side goes to the red side. I should probably double check that before I do the final install. But, of course, there's not as many Focuses sold here as there are worldwide, which is why it comes aus Deutschland with via Deutsche Post. I ordered it before Christmas and got hung up in customs for like 4 weeks or something like that. Perversely, I ordered something else from Germany, possibly from the same seller. Ordered it like January 2nd, and it's going to be a day behind, or 3 days behind this, or something like that. It's just absurd how crazy that pre-Christmas rush was. But, you know, shipping around the holidays, always a challenge. Alright, so we've got these attached. Let's see if these things actually turn on when I flick the key. Broken trim piece. Am I going to want the duct again? I don't know. Hold on for the moment. Connecting microphone for Bluetooth. Removing the your instructions on it. Oh, I should recycle that. Cracked body panel. Nobody's going to want that. So I'm curious how I'm going to go back and edit this later. Am I going to edit it in the direction, or in the order that I actually did this? Or am I going to edit it in an order that seems to make sense? Because I discovered the reverse lights were broken some while ago. This is all recyclable, looks like. Some while ago, and then just fixed them today because they came in, and I could stop and do that, even though it didn't necessarily make any sense to do it that way. Ooh, napkins. Alright. Air freshener. Does not freshen the air anymore. Because if I do it in an order that makes sense, it's going to make sense. That was a dumb statement. But if I do it in the order that I actually did things, I think everybody in the world with ADD is going to be like, hey, I recognize that order of operations. Though me using math terms like I had in math education. You're not going to avail yourself of a good math education, as Mr. Christian might have said. So many years ago when I was in high school, not taking AP Calculus like all my nerd friends. That doesn't mean I was any less of a nerd, it just meant that I really didn't like math very much. And as the person who made it through medical school and is now rally racing a car, so, oh fuck! Okay, so that head strike seemed particularly karma. Sorry to anybody I may have offended from high school. Probably just Mr. Christian and Mr. Matthews. Mr. Matthews, was that the calculus teacher? Everybody had a much higher opinion of me taking calculus than I did. So, probably the cleanest part of the car because it's under the freaking upholstery. Oh, there's a piece of trim there. Hey, funny how these things happen. How do you get change under the upholstery? Or is that not actually change? Okay, that's not... That's a penny. How do you get pennies under the upholstery? Sweet baby Jesus. I guess if it's not glued down, anything can get under there. This is why I drink. No, actually, but... yeah. My hobby is why I drink. It makes no sense whatsoever. Oh, hey, there's my good dikes. Huh? Whatever. More change. Man, I'm gonna pay for this project by the time I'm done with it. Not really. Alright, and that's a good breaking spot for the day. Turn stuff off and get going. Why am I not using ear protection for this shit? It's loud. Probably because I'm lazy. I know, it's just what you're thinking. What kind of lazy bastard goes to medical school?